Hi, I'm Tana Heminsley, and this is an Authentic Leadership Circle app. This one is called How Do I Have a Difficult Conversation When I Feel Intimidated? Just a couple of things about the apps. First, there's a short video to talk to you about 2 or 3 learning points for each of the different topics. Second, there's a short video to take you through an action worksheet where you can pragmatically and practically work through the steps to practice some of the competencies for the apps that we've developed. Third, it's important to have support and resources as you learn some of these new competencies. So what we've done is we've tried to provide you with a list of resources as well. So if there's a great book that someone knows about, or a DVD, or if there's a group, as we have Authentic Leadership Circles on these different topics, there's a place for you to get support if you need it. Self-directed learning is really what our intention is for the apps. So if you don't need them, great. If you do need them, the resources are there. So how to have a difficult conversation. This is something that I have been working on personally for about 8 years now. And I don't say that lightly. Having difficult conversations was not something that I learned in school or practiced when I was younger, and then when I got into the organizational world, into the corporate world, I had some really unhealthy patterns, both for myself and in dealing with other people. My pattern of choice was to withdraw and shut down, to get confused, to cry on occasion, so a bunch of things that weren't really helpful in different situations. And what I learned is that there were skills that I could develop, there were things that I could do to learn how to have a difficult conversation. And over time, with practice, the kinds of conversations that I can now take on are much bigger and more intense than I would ever thought that I could take on in the past. In fact, the kinds of conversations that I was worried about in the past, that I would stew over and obsess over for days or weeks or even months, have become less important and really just small issues now that need to be cleared. Clearing is something that we do on an ongoing basis. So that's having a conversation with someone, giving some feedback, asking for feedback, to just get rid of whatever it is that the issue is so that it doesn't become something bigger. There are 3 learning points that I'd like to talk to you about today. First is having a difficult conversation. One of the things that's important is to be aware of how you think about difficult conversations. And it can help to reframe at times how we see them. If you see them as something to avoid at all costs, one of the things that I've learned is that difficult conversations can actually be seen as a gift. They're a gift for you to practice being authentic, being real, and to see how you show up with others. So to teach them, to teach yourself, and to strengthen a relationship. There's an opportunity to strengthen or to end a relationship depending on the situation as well. So that's the first learning point. Difficult conversations are a gift. The second, and they're also a gift that you're going to get whether you like it or not. So reframing how you see them can be really helpful, because once you're ready to start practicing them, they will be there for you all the time. You will notice them all the time because they're in your field of awareness. The second learning point is that difficult conversations, each one of them is a confidence-building opportunity. Each one of them as a distinct situation is an opportunity for you to practice, to learn a couple of things, to risk and put yourself out there, and then to debrief and to recognize the progress that you've made. And if you have a strong inner critic, the inner critic will want to go to all the things that you did wrong and it didn't work out and you didn't say this, and what we want to do is stress compassion for yourself as you go into what we call beginner's mind, because you're starting something new. It's like we're back at an earlier developmental level, at a younger age when we're taking on something new, and something as big as having a difficult conversation, particularly where you might feel intimidated, either by what you have to say or by who you have to say it to. Difficult conversations can be a confidence-building opportunity, because each time that you take one on, you gain a bit more capacity and competence to take on the next one when it comes along, and it will. The third learning point is that thankfully, the difficult conversations can become less difficult over time. One of the things that has been really important in my learnings is that when I am in a difficult or uncomfortable situation, there's this arc of intense energy that happens. So it's like an arc, goes up and comes down. And as it peaks, when it's really uncomfortable for me, that's when I have the chance to go to automatic patterns, or I can stay awake and aware. I can see what's going on for me and what I'm about to head into, and I can step back, breathe into it, make a choice, and have a different response. One that is more mature, one that is more appropriate, one that's more objective in the situation. When I can see and let go of some old automatic patterns and beliefs that I have around a person or a situation or the kind of conversation that I need to have. So the third learning point is that difficult conversations can become less difficult over time. I'd like you to take a look at the action worksheet. There's another short video for the action worksheet to take you through how to actually practice having a difficult conversation when you feel intimidated. Relax into your authenticity and live this day with just a little more ease.